You ever wonder if a project that you want to do around your home is actually going to help or hurt the resale value or appraised value of your home? Well, here's 21 projects that could possibly hurt the sale of your home. Let's take a look. Luxury bathrooms. Now, it really depends on the style of your house. And if it's just a regular tract home, like where I live, putting in $100,000 in a luxury bathroom just doesn't make financial sense. If I did it for myself and I want a copper bathtub or what have you, it might be a worthwhile thing. However, in tract housing, which is 99% of the houses that are out there right now, I wouldn't really do it. If your house is worth $30 million, absolutely. Right? So think about that. All right, the next one, bold or dark paint colors. It's a trend that happened about 3 years ago. And yeah, it was kind of cool. It was kind of, like retro. Back in the 90s, you put a red wall, just an accent wall of some sort. Now they're going darker walls. It actually hurts. I did sell a house a couple of years back, and it was the Raiders' living room. It was black walls and silver ceiling, and I thought it was the tackiest thing, but people liked it. So, again, this is just what people are saying. We always say in the market, if your house is on the market, make your house look bright, airy. That means light, bright, airy walls. Tacky tile. The recent long tiles that go up on your backsplash in your kitchen, that's actually kind of getting a little bit outmoded. And you got to look at, if you're going to do a remodel of your bathroom, do it right? Find out what's a long lasting, not a very trendy tile, because stuff like this will only last you like 5 or 10 years, and then you have to dig it up and get rid of it. So think about that. Number 4, quality paint. Yeah, I don't really care. They're always out there trying to sell, oh, you need this, the higher end stuff. Yeah, I get it. It lasts longer. It doesn't chip as quick. But I got to tell you that the the more expensive stuff, it's not that much better. So look for what the finish is. If it's a matte or a gloss or a semi-gloss, you want something that's a little more neutral, something that you can easily wipe dirt off of, so that when your kids smudge peanut butter all over it, you can wash it down pretty quick. So that's something I would look out for. Too much wallpaper. Yeah, wallpaper is not a thing anymore. I know it's kind of trending back, but that again is more high end. And I wouldn't put just, the tacky stuff, wallpapers to go crap up on my walls, because taking it down, it's actually faster to take the entire wall, the drywall down, and put new drywall on, because it's such a pain to take care of all that stuff. And people don't typically like your style of wallpaper. So just take that into consideration. If you want it for yourself, by all means, do it. Overdone kitchen. Yeah, it depends on the house, right? I mean, if it's a really luxury home, like we have a bunch of them here in Santa Clara County, you might want to go a little bit over the top. But anything that looks like it's been just crammed in there, it's not something people are going to look for. Carpet. See, I follow the carpet repair guy. I've used them many times. I'm not a fan of carpet. I have dogs, and they tend to tear the hell out of everything that I own. All my furniture is smelly and gross. And when you have carpet, it's an upholstery, and it will absorb dirt and smells and hair and dirt and grime. So just be aware. It will. Yeah, it says down here, hardwood offers more bang for your buck, even though it's more expensive. Hardwood floors last longer. You can have them sanded down and refinished. Carpet is, once you get a stain on it, I don't care what they say, even if it's protected or Scotch guarded or whatever, you're still going to get that stain, period. Just like upholstery, your car seat, if it's upholstery instead of leather, you get a stain in there, it'll come back. I don't care how much money you spend on spot removal. Huge bedrooms. This one's talking about more about getting rid of your closet or making a smaller closet. Huge bedrooms. People want the huge bedrooms. Now, if you have a bedroom and a sitting area and a makeup area and a big, huge walk-in closet and a grand bathroom, that better be set up for a luxury house, right? So my house, my master is large, it's big enough, and I think it's just the right size for this house. It's a 2,300 square foot house. Textured ceilings and walls. The newest trend is flat walls. I don't know why people are doing that, because it shows every imperfection. The great thing about textured walls is that it kind of blends in and hides imperfections and seams and what have you. The tough part is if you do get a crack in the wall, you have to sand it all out and fix the crack and then retexture it, but at least you can hide it a little bit better. For lower skilled laborers like myself, when it comes to drywall and walls, I like having texture just because it's nice to have. 3-season porch. Oh yeah, 3-season porch sunrooms. Yeah, they're expensive. I did a pergola a few years back and I did it all myself. I think it cost me like $2,000, $2,500 in materials. I did it myself, did the electrical, the whole 9 yards. You could be paying upwards of $75,000 to it, but the ROI just isn't there. So be careful what you spend. Home theaters. If you have a 5,000 square foot house, that should be expected to have a movie theater. However, that trend's starting to go away because it's nice to have, but you tend not to use it over time because you want to be around your family, right? Garage conversions. They're expensive, they're overpriced, and anything you do here, especially here in the Silicon Valley, is going to cost you 3 times more than what you could actually do if you do it yourself. Just buy materials and having a professional company come in and do it. So be careful of that as well. Removing a bathtub. I've had a few people come in and ask me, should I get rid of my bathtub? Is it a smart thing? And what I tell them is buyers expect a bathtub. It's just a thing, right? Sometimes you just want to have it there. And I've known people that have torn out the bathtub and the guest bath and put a shower in there because their child didn't want to have a bathtub there anymore. Well, resale wise, probably not going to help you much. A new roof. Tell them this every time. My roof is old. It has leaks. Should I replace it? Well, here in the Silicon Valley, you're looking at $20,000 to $30,000 to replace a roof, and you're not going to get the value out of it because your brain doesn't look at the roof when you're looking at a house. And I always say, let's get it fixed up. Let's get it sealed up. Let's get it guaranteed for the next 2, 3, 4 years and disclose that it's an older roof and it might be end of life, right? Let the buyer pay for it. You're not going to get the ROI on it. And it just doesn't make sense to spend $30,000 and not get any return on that. Unless the house, the roof blew off in a windstorm. That happened to me, our second year here. You know, it's just part of life, right? Solar panels. Now, there's 2 different ways to buy a solar panel. You can lease it or you can buy it. If you lease it, it's a liability. It actually costs you money every month. So an appraiser won't give you value to that. As a matter of fact, they might take it away. I don't think they will, but if you buy it and it's paid for or you're financing it, then it's an asset. It's actual attached property to your roof or to your house, and it adds value to it. And it's upwards of $20,000, $30,000. Will somebody pay extra for it? Not really. It's kind of like a pool. You either want a pool or you don't want a pool. There's a very small Venn diagram medium of people that don't care if you get a pool or not. Pools are expensive maintenance, luxury items as far as they're concerned. So if you want a pool, you're absolutely going to want to have a pool. Some people come in and buy it with a pool and then they bury it, or they take it out and put dirt in there. Same thing with solar panels. You're not going to see an ROI on that because you're like, yeah, that's great. You can say you spent $20,000, $30,000 on solar panels and you're saving money. But again, it's like the roof. You don't see it, sight unseen. It's not part of the mindset of how it is. If you can show that you're saving $300 a month on electricity, then that might be worthwhile. So you got to really do the numbers. Over the top landscaping, right? We put in flagstone and then grass around the flagstone, and I just don't like it. I just feel like we put in cement on the side yard. I have pavers by the pergola, and I have a little grassy area by my fire pit. And I think it's a little bit over the top. It's just a little bit too much. Anything that's just too much. Like if your house is small and you have a small backyard, don't put a koi pond in. Right? Just think about it. And anything you do today, any kind of projects you do, is going to be really expensive. And people aren't going to pay extra for that. They don't want to see a dirt lot, like, because that's a key indicator of a flip. But they definitely don't want to pay extra for massively designed landscaping. A backyard pool. There you go. We just talked about that. I have 3 houses coming up with pools, and each one of them asked me, how much more do I get for my house because I have a pool in it? And I said, you don't really get a whole lot out of it. You get value added as the appraisal, but as far as a buyer's concerned, if they absolutely want a pool, it better be sparkling. It better be completely maintenance free, not maintenance free, but no cracks, no issues, no missing tiles. The pumps are working perfectly, because pools are its own little organism. They cost a lot to run every month. So you either absolutely want it or you don't. Actually, I have 4 houses with pools in it. But that fourth one coming up later on this year, and it has a pool heater. The solar pool heaters like this on top here, this actually pulls water from the pool up through here, and it drains down, it goes back into the pool and heats the house, that heats the pool up for you. It's kind of a nice thing. And they have finance solar too. So there you go. 18, closet removal. Be careful. Yeah, don't take out your closets. Don't. People want places to store. People want storage. As a matter of fact, my pantry was 2 foot by 2 foot, but it was right behind the stairwell in my house, and I broke out the wall and put in extra shelving underneath the stairwell. It's like, there's a big angle there, but I wanted extra storage. Buyers want extra storage. You take out your closet to make your bedroom bigger, and then you have a little wardrobe somewhere. That's great, but you're not improving anything on there. So closet removals are a horrible idea. Home office. I have 2 home offices because my son moved out. He's at Chico State. He's going to school up there, and she's upstairs in that old room working upstairs. And I've been in this office for 22 years. And it's a value. It's absolutely a value because more and more people are working at home. But I think what we're going to see is a trend of multi-use rooms for bedrooms and desk, so you can work in your house, unless it's something like this where it just doesn't make sense to make this into a bedroom, because this is a very, very small room. Don't get aquariums or built-in. This is for a built-in aquarium. This is a big trend for a while. There was a big, TV show, a reality show. I can't remember what it's called. Never really watched it. Not really big into aquariums. I've had fish. I've had toads. I've had all sorts of different amphibious creatures, and they're a pain to deal with. And if you have one that's built in like this, that's a commitment. It's a commitment because you have little lives that are depending on you to feed them, keep them clean, keep them healthy, and that is another organism, just like a pool. Hot tubs. Whew. Sold a house a few years back, and it had a hot tub in it, and the buyer didn't want it, and I thought, oh, I'll take it. So I grabbed it, threw it in my truck, brought it home, and there it sat. I never plugged it in, never hardwired it, never had water. The rain actually filled it up with water. And finally, at one point, I was like, I'm getting rid of this thing because I'm just never going to use it. And I put it on Craigslist, free hot tub. The guy came over, picked it up, put it on some dollies. He had a couple kids help him, put it on the truck, took care of it. If it's something you want, don't consider it a value to the buyer. You might have to remove it. I don't know how many hot tubs I've had removed over the last 22 years of selling houses. So just keep that in mind. All right. Mortgage rates, 7.35. It continues to go up and up and up. Not where it was on October 9th, 2023 at 7.64, but still it's pretty far up there. You can buy it down, talk to a home lender. I have 3 of them on speed dial. If you need somebody, let me know. I'll put you in touch with my people, and they're amazing. We'll get to this next week because I think I spent too much time on the 21 projects. This episode is brought to you by the Home Buyers Checklist. If you're going to go home shopping this weekend, download this checklist. It'll allow you to compare and contrast all the houses you go to. And believe me, when you're looking at 4, 5, 6 houses, even 10 houses, it kind of gets blurry as to which house has dual pane windows and which ones have air conditioning and don't. So download this checklist and you'll be happy. All right. What you get for $2 million in Santa Clara County, not my listing, Rudy Court, 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,744 square feet, built in 1977. And it is right here in the nook of Almaden Valley in Cambrian. And let's take a quick look at it. This house has the guise of being flipped. It's high-end stuff, though. Remember what I said about kitchens? You're not going to get your ROI on kitchens, so just be careful. And bathrooms. There's a nice pool back there. So if you want a pool, there you go. And what you get for $1 million, Hannah Street, not my listing. This is $1,050,000. 2-bedroom, 1-bath, 789 square feet. Talk about tiny houses. Hannah Street. This is right by the freeway. I have a feeling this one's going to be on market for quite a while. I mean, talk about freeway noise. You're right there. Freeway noise and pollution. 101 days on market, and it started off at $1,099,000. Now it's $1,050,000. And let's take a look at the inside. How old is this thing? 1900. It's over 100 years old. How many families has this thing housed? Wow. Talk about landscape, right? That's all driveway. I don't see a garage. Yeah, nice garage, nice kitchen, but it's very small because everything in this house is small. Yeah, not even a floor plan. All right. 12 Bay Area County months of inventory. Nothing's changed. I haven't touched it because we are at the end of January. Next week we'll have an updated chart, but everything is showing that inventory is still very low. Even last week I showed you multiple different angles that our inventory is very, very low. I think we had like 37 sales last week, and we're up to like 63 sales this week. So there's just not enough inventory for buyers to get a hold onto. But we're also in the winter thaw, right? We're starting to get into semi-warmer, even though this last week was freezing. Just be careful of knowing what you're looking for. Buyers are being very, very picky right now. My listing down in Hollister, we're getting into contract now, and they're coming back and trying to shoot bullets at us, and we're just deflecting them. And we'll get into contract. It just takes a little bit of time. And this one, because it's Hollister, it takes a lot longer to sell than in Santa Clara County. So we're being patient with it, but we're definitely playing this fish on the hook. So just be careful out there. If you're putting it on today, it's going to take a little bit of more coaxing with the buyer. Buyers are being very persnickety, and that's just the way it is during January. February is going to be a little bit of the same thing. March, April, May will be in full thaw. Spring's coming out. The weather's getting warmer. Buyers come out, and that's really a great time to sell. So there you go. All right, I'm Vito with Abitano. Have a great weekend. We'll see you out there.